Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the official podcast of the SBC, the Shower Brew Cast. I'm your co-host, Canadian Moose.
I'm the evil red.
Do we want
Yeah, this internet.
I'm
the
Oh, sick. Lovely. Hang on, let me quit this.
It was going so well, and then you're like, I'm the evil.
Little do you know I did that on purpose.
You slowed down so hard. It was hilarious.
Funny.
But it was seamless because there was no like audio lag. It just like it was like it almost like you were talking in slow motion because normally it's like but it was like I'm the evil. Like it was great. You can take it back up from your spot if you want.
I think we should keep it.
Sounds good. Okay, Shadow.
Hi, I'm Shadow Dragon.
And today, guys, we've got Shawn Romo back on the podcast today.
Hello.
Look at that.
Thanks for having me again.
We love to
That
have
just pretty much sums up my whole time on like the internet.
Marinating.
Yes.
But
like my brain.
Exactly. See, I was like, man, I want to get another person on the pod, like a reoccurring guest here. And I was like, man, like Shawn Romo, like the click was there. No offense to anybody else we've had on, but it was just like the energy was really flowing. And I was like,
I appreciate it.
Here. Well, of course.
It was a fun group to be a part of, so it's always nice to get the invite back.
Heck freaking yeah, man. And again, guys, we know that we're kind of backlogged on getting Rec Niner and Bearded Boyd on the podcast. We're gonna get them on eventually. But the thing is that it does take some time to prep and set up sessions for those interviews. That's why we're doing this one, because we are behind in upload. So we didn't get an upload for last week. We're hoping to get one for this week. And that's why we're recording now in a sort of podcast that's a little less interview and a little bit less work beforehand. Just because like we've all been so busy with our schedules and such that we need to find time in order to be able to do the Bearded and the Rec podcasts properly. So we're just needing more time, so that's why this one will be coming up before we do those interviews, just because this one's a little bit less work as far as prep time goes. So that's just an explanation, because I know a lot of people are like, well, when are you guys going to get Rec and Bearded? Because I know that's a lot of we've been talking about it a lot on stream and stuff.
So are you calling me easy?
Yes, easily.
Like
Shadow like that one.
Yeah, totally. Like, put it out there.
Spit, gerbil man, spit.
Right as I was taking a drink. God damn it!
You never drink during the podcast. You drink in the intermissions in between. I've learned that one, especially when Swagger's here. When Swagger's here, God, I don't drink at all.
Oh yeah,
it's never gonna end well. So, Shawn, how you doing today? What's the word?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
As you can see behind me with all my
You've got a little armory here, yeah.
Yeah, I can't really get anywhere, so I've just been chilling at home. I broke my foot.
Yeah. See, that's why I figured you'd be easy to get on the podcast. I wouldn't have to chase you down.
Right.
You wouldn't get far. We'd find you.
Yeah. It's nice because like my friends are supportive and like they've helped me get around when I need to and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then there's also times where like I just want to go home, but I can't drive myself back home because my foot is broken on the right foot.
Oh.
Yeah, so I can't do anything for myself.
That sucks.
So like I was watching a basketball game a couple days ago and we lost and I was like, I'm done. I want to leave.
Yeah.
But then I had to stay like 4 more hours because my friend who drove me didn't want to leave. So I just told him, I was like, hey, just tell me when we're going. And I went to my friend's room that we were staying at and I just slept.
That's the worst though. Like
Yeah.
you know, like when you're in this situation where you're like, you just want to go, but your friend's like, nah, I don't want to leave yet. I've been in both sides of it where I'm like, I want to leave, but they won't go. And I'm just like, they want to leave, and I'm like, we just got here. We're gonna stay.
Yeah, exactly. Can I get my dad in here? Because he's standing at my door.
Yeah, can bring him in. Bring him in.
Here, they want to say hi to you.
Yeah.
Oh, he walked away.
No!
The tease. I think he'll come back.
We want him on the podcast.
Oh, here he is.
Hell yeah, let's get it.
Here, let me just
Yeah. How's it going, sir? How's it going?
How's it going?
How's your day going?
Doing good. We're doing good. How about you guys?
Not too
You
bad.
all right?
Great.
We're having a great time.
This is where my son spends all his time, huh? Cat with
Yeah,
the boy.
yeah. We're keeping him straight and honest.
He's like, hey, ramp up my internet. What's up? $500 of internet bill is a lot, right?
Yeah, that's understandable. That's understandable. Sorry we're costing you so much.
That's fine. I see the smiles. It's a good thing. I'm glad he's right here.
Oh yeah, we love to see it. We love your
thank
son.
you,
sir.
He's a great guy.
Brothers, you guys have a good day.
Take it easy,
Yes,
man.
well,
you too,
Great
sir.
having you on. That was wholesome, man. That was awesome. That was great.
Cool guy.
That was great. What a good time. I was like, shocker. Sean's dad's supporting some Arizona sports team. It must run in the family.
Oh yeah,
So-
I learned from the best.
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
actually, he was a Yankees fan for a really long time,
Oh.
and I was a Yankees fan like growing up because of him.
Yeah.
But when I was like 4, I went on a camping trip with my grandparents, and I came back with like a D-backs hat and like just started watching a
Your
bunch of
dad's like,
D-backs. with
get
them.
out.
Yeah. And so I started calling like Derek Jeter like a legend. I started calling him Jeter the Cheater for no reason really. And I kind of got disowned by my dad for a while, but now he's
We're
grown
cool,
to accept
we're cool
me.
now. Yeah, we're cool now.
Yeah.
Jeter retired, so we're cool now.
Mhm.
We've got an interesting topic for today. Again, I've been kind of I was alluding to it, but I didn't want to give it away because that'd be like a fun thing to talk about.
I feel like I know what it is now.
Yeah,
What do you
I
think?
have
it
no
is?
idea.
We're talking about cryptids now, aren't we?
No,
Bigfoot is real.
but that'd be cool. That'd be a cool one. That is sort of like this what I'm talking about. So I've been watching a lot of the Shadow knows this. I've been watching a lot of BuzzFeed Unsolved, which if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. It's like a really like fun paranormal like cryptid kind of stuff like that. They're like they're just like talking about like UFOs and stuff like that. Really fun because like there's one guy who like really believes in it all, and the other guy who's like a skeptic, and like their dynamic is hilarious. It's really funny stuff. Basically, today's topic, because I've been watching a lot of it lately, is ghosts. And like so I figured that a good talking point would be ghosts, everyone's personal thoughts, maybe some stories, and just like a general talk about ghosts. I thought that'd be kind of cool. It's like like when you hang with the buddies, it's like like ghosts, right? Kind of wacky. So here we are. Yeah.
All right.
Sick.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know who wants to get the ball rolling here. Maybe we'll just start it off with ghosts, yay or nay, or undecided.
Okay, what is that? Like, what do you mean by yay or nay? Like,
Oh,
yay, I believe in
100%.
them, or
Like
no,
a real,
yeah.
not real, not real, not sure.
Yeah, there are definitely like unexplained
There-
things.
Yeah, there's
Very
some
real.
phenomenon.
Oh, okay. So we got a full sweep. Everyone here is like, yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's
like,
interesting.
Well, Arizona, like Arizona is really huge into stuff like that. There's a lot of like ghost
Mhm.
town places.
Mhm.
Like people in my city will go to a specific hotel because it's supposed to be like super haunted.
Wow.
So we get a lot of like tourism through that. And then there's just other cities where you can do like ghost tours and stuff like that. So ghosts are a huge part of culture in Arizona.
That's really cool. Damn. Okay,
Mhm.
so I'm surprised and a little disappointed that we're all kind of that we're all kind of. I was hoping for like one person to be
We're
like,
on-
Dude,
we're on the
no, ghosts are
wagon here.
not real, man.
Yeah.
No chance.
what do you
now Sean's like,
mean?
nah. Okay, now we've all gone the opposite direction. It's the whole point, guys. The point is we need some on both sides.
We gotta split it.
So
Well,
that's
maybe
Fuck
ghosts
your
are
devil's
real.
advocate.
don't
I believe in
know.
ghosts.
So it seems like we all like, because I'm of the belief of like yes, but also like kind of no. Like there's some stuff where I'm like, yeah, but like that's not a ghost. Like that's like
Some stuff
It's
can
the
be
wind.
explained, but
Yeah.
you're
Some
not
stuff I'm
entirely
just
sure on
definitely
the
like,
stuff. Yeah.
whoa, like again, like this show, like sometimes, or even just any like show you'll watch about ghosts or whatever, or even you like, see some CCTV like footage, and you're like, it's kind of sus,
Yeah.
homie. Like, I don't know,
Personally, I've never had a ghost encounter.
Never had an
I
experience.
have never personally had it. Well, actually, I have. Actually, I completely forgot about this. And I have footage. Fun fact.
Yeah?
Yes, I do.
You have footage.
I do indeed have footage.
Well,
Okay, so it's actually
Visual cue.
it's not so much visual. It's more audible. Now I'm gonna set the stage.
Ooh.
I think I've told this story a couple times on stream, but I don't think I've ever told it on the podcast. So essentially, one night I was recording Mafia 3, right? Don't know if anyone remembers that game. It wasn't really that big. This was when I was like living on my own. nobody in the house, just me, 3 in the morning. So I'm recording. And, you know, I go through the game, play through it and everything, and I do my business. And then, like, a few days later, I'm editing this episode. And I'm just, like, I'm watching back the footage, and I just, like, I start hearing things. Unexplained things, like noises, like moans, like sort of wails, and, like, other things that I'm just, like, even, like, now, just talking about, I'm, like, getting kind of, like, skeeved out. But, like, legitimately recorded things that I couldn't explain because I was home alone. And, like, if the dog was doing it, I would have heard it. And I'm just like I literally got so spooked. I was, like, listening back, and I just heard, like, this sound, and I got up from my chair. I was like, nope. I, like, left the house for the day. I was like, not coming back.
Yeah,
So, like,
that freaks me out.
bear in mind, this is pretty old footage. So just don't mock me.
Oh my gosh, she looks so small.
This was like 7 years ago. So
I love it.
do I? Yeah. So I mean,
What?
that was you can see why I, like, immediately ran out of the room, where I was like, nope. We got ghosts on the footage. I'm out. I'm not getting paid enough for this.
It's crazy.
Again, I literally have no explanation as to what, like, the other two maybe, like, could have been something, maybe, like, something, me rubbing against something. I can maybe rationalize those ones, but that first one, dude.
See, because that first one was
Yeah, I don't-
definitely odd for it to be picked up that hard on the microphone.
Yeah, and this was
definitely
a
says-
Yeah.
snowball. This was a snowball microphone.
Yeah, so, like, because part of me was gonna say if it was, like, really muffled in the back, my thought was to be like, okay, as devil advocate, maybe there was, like, a creature that got into your house, was in the walls, and
Yeah.
that made the noise.
Or, like, the dog or
But-
something.
Yeah, but for it to be that clear on the mic, it
Yeah.
had to have been very, like, in the vicinity
Yeah.
of it.
And even if someone wants to try and tell me that, like, it was my dog howling, listen, I record in the basement. If my dog was howling, he's way upstairs.
It would
Like,
be a
that's
lot
not
Yeah.
getting picked up through the floor, through a door, and, like, that
Threw a
clearly.
Snowball.
Yeah, like, and a snowball, right? That clearly not happening at all.
Is it where you're, like, currently at?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
it's the
what
exact
happened?
same room.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean,
You're gonna watch this back, and it's gonna happen again.
that would
There's
be.
gonna be something.
I've always been like the most terrifying thing that I could ever encounter as a creator in like watching back footage would be like I used to record with a green screen like Shadow did, and like when I would record I couldn't see what was behind me, so, like, because I was focused on the game. We're not like nowadays where streaming, like, I'm like constantly like, looking at myself to see if I'm. This was like, again, like 6 or 7 years ago. My biggest fear was to be recording and like see something moving behind my green screen and be like, I need to move. Like, So- that would be like the most horrifying. Like, I would straight up move if that would happen. Like, if that
Mhm.
happened, I'm out of here. Like, there's
Just in the
no,
middle.
nothing can explain that.
I did actually remember that there was one time when I guess you could say it was a ghost story thing, but I guess I kept it from mine because it wasn't at my house. I was with a friend, and just we were hanging out, and she randomly says, "This is like back when I'm like 8 or 7, mind you, so like it's elementary school wise. So there's a good reason why I wouldn't have remembered it." But she was like, she always made the joke like her house was haunted, stuff like that, how she has a ghost in it, and me, not really believing it. I didn't really believe it. And we're just hanging out, we're talking in like one of the rooms on our house, and it's already a weird feeling because one, her parents didn't like that when they brought other kids inside their house. So we had to keep that skeptical or like on the down low. It was very weird. And we're talking, and all of a sudden there's like a box in the corner with like a bunch of toys in it, and one of the toys just goes off. Like it's one of those that makes sound like a Winnie the Pooh sound thing. I'm of course like, the hell was that? And she goes, "Oh yeah, the ghost likes messing with the toys and stuff like that." I'm just like,
Casual.
what?
It's like, oh, that's just the ghost. Yeah.
Now
Simmer
and-
down. We have guests.
Yeah, and now of course to those non-believers who say they could prove it, that could also be an electrical wiring kind of thing. But as a kid, you keep in mind, we didn't think of stuff like that. We thought, oh, noise that shouldn't have happened. Ghost.
The way
Okay,
that
but also one thing that I have seen throughout like my experiences with people telling ghost stories is it's always like the younger kids who see the ghosts.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think if like this girl is saying when she's young, like, oh, that's just the ghost, like maybe she just saw it, you know? She's like, that's just the ghost like digging in.
Yeah, just chilling out.
Maybe.
It's only little
yeah.
kids who like see stuff like that. So
Yeah. The way I see what you said, where you were just like, maybe it was an electrical wiring thing, because a lot of people like disprove a lot of these stories. They're like, oh, like could have been this, could have been that. If that's the case, then there are so many, like I'm talking like millions of coincidences then that like can disprove these stories. Which I mean, like either those are just coincidences that are just like keep happening for whatever reason, or maybe it's something that we don't understand. Now, again, we are playing a little bit of devil's advocate here and kind of enticing a little bit more, but we're not off the rails. We are being somewhat intelligent about this.
Yeah, like personally, I
good.
believe that probably, like that probably happened. I don't think it was a faulty wiring thing, but again, I was a kid, so there's not much saying that I could have known.
Yeah.
Not me personally, but my wife has had an experience, a pretty actually drastic one. Like, there's this place out like where I'm originally from. There's this place called West Park, and like a few kids have gone out there like over time and like killed themselves there. So that's got bad energy.
Yeah.
And there's actually a pavilion that's built there for one of the kids that killed themselves. And then my wife was out there, a bunch of friends, like it's a hangout spot. Like people like going out there and trying to entice ghosts, you know. But my wife was out there, and there was a ball that was out there. She kicked it, and then it came back.
No.
And she actually played with it. She actually played with, like, she kicked, like, my wife's kind of, yeah, she's the nutty one. But apparently it was this little like girl, like, who had been killed out there. And whenever they were leaving, she was driving, and it followed her. It like she played with it, so it's like, hey, I like you. So it attached itself to her, and she was driving home and saw it in her rearview mirror, like in different spots, poking around trees and shit, following her.
Wait, like so she saw like a figure.
Yeah, a little girl. No, like a little girl. Yeah, like poke out behind trees in her mirror, like behind her and shit. And then it ended up in her car, like she saw it in the back of her car, like through the mirror. Turned around and there's nothing there. So she called her stepmom. She's like, "Oh, I have this fucking ghost following me. Like, what do I do?"
Yeah, I got a ghost in the back seat.
Yeah, like I don't know what's going on. Like this is crazy. I don't know what's going on. And she said, like,
Shawn's frozen. I was like, man, he's keeping quite.
You see frozen? I thought he was. I thought he was
like. I was like, man,
I thought he was just.
He's really into this story. And you said some stuff. I was like, man, this guy didn't. He is ice cold. He didn't even flinch. There you go.
You there?
Hey man, there's that internet your dad was talking about, huh?
Yep.
Oh, man. He's on his phone.
What happened?
Another question. It's not the first time that's happened.
Redneck was telling a story, and we were just like, man, this guy's cold as ice. He didn't even flinch.
Dude,
just sitting there like.
I heard. So I heard up to like. She was following the ghost was following your wife home, and I am like chilled to the core, but so I want to keep hearing this.
Yeah,
the funny part was like you were just frozen. You were just like, damn.
I'm just like,
I was like, the ghost got to this guy.
No, he's like,
you were like this.
Yeah,
great face.
I was just like, okay, cool.
And I was like, Shawn's not vibing with it, man.
He's not feeling the story.
Redneck, right? cut the story. Tell something more cool.
It was like peeking around trees and shit in her mirror, and then it actually ended up in her back seat. Like she saw it in the mirror in her back seat, and she turned around, nothing was there. So she called her stepmom, and she's like, "What do I do? Like,
oh my god,
like ghost girl following me. Like, I don't know what to do."
She's like,
and
"Write it." That's a movie.
Stepmom said something. her stepmom said something. It was like, you have to like tell it to go back. You have to say in Jesus' name, like, be gone or go back, or I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something along that sorts. And she was like, you have to like mean it. So she yelled it and fucking it left.
Poor
It
little
stopped,
ghost girl
but
hurt feelings now, man.
yeah,
Damn,
like
yeah.
she's actually afraid to go back out there because like she pretty much just bitch slapped this ghost back like to where it came from.
Oh
So,
shit! Yeah, no, you can't go there.
She goes back. There's gonna be a ball that just hits her in the face.
Right, like burn.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, because you know how you said that people go out there to like kind of entice ghosts out and like mess with the paranormal. Like, I remember in high school, I was hanging out with my friends and they wanted to like do a Ouija board, and I was like, "Nope, see you guys." I just left.
No, thanks.
Like,
Okay.
there is no chance that I'll do stuff like that because I'm not gonna mess with it.
To me, there's nothing good that would come from it. Either A, you summon a ghost or a demon, and that's never good. Or B, nothing happens and you've wasted an hour of your time.
Right.
Nothing good can come.
I actually have another one about that.
Oh.
About an Ouija board.
About a Ouija board.
But we'll let someone else go right now. Like,
I've actually had someone that I knew who moved because of a ghost in their house. Like their brother, I don't know like the full details, but basically their brother like kept seeing stuff and was getting like super freaked out and was like screaming at the ghost every night and stuff like that, and could like actively describe what it looked like and stuff like that, and describe like this man. And so after like a few months, this family was like, "Nah, we're not doing this," and then they moved and everything was fine. So
how old was the kid?
He was like 3, I think, or 4 when it happened, and it like petrified him, and so they had to leave.
For that, I'd be like, active imagination of a child, but also like again like this. I think the small part of your brain would be like, but what if? Because I mean, like if you just say, oh, that's just Jeremy. He's just funny. Like that's the start of every horror movie.
And I remember like my friend said that he would stare at like the thermometer, like walk to the thermometer in like the night times around like 2 or 3 in the morning and stuff like that.
It's the witching hour.
And would just sleepwalk and stare at like the thermometer and just stare at it and walk back to his room later on.
Yeah.
So the stuff like that freaks me out.
Yeah, around 3 o'clock is like
the witching hour.
That shit like the witching hour that shit like that normally happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come to think of it, I was recording that episode pretty late in the
3 o'clock.
Yeah, pretty
you said
late.
It was about 3 o'clock.
It was pretty early in the morning.
Ghost, what's this kid doing?
Yeah.
Oh, what did they do to that poor man?
It wasn't that right after that. Like,
he like sees me like starting up my PC. He's like, idiot. It's almost 3. Time to go to work. Goes and gets a little ghost briefcase. This guy's gonna freak out in about 4 to 5 days when he watches this back. I was gonna say, Reddick, what was your Ouija board story?
It was whenever we lived. It was before I deployed, when we lived in our trailer. We had my buddy who was deploying with me. Like they were living with us like right before we left, so like the wives could stay together. It costs less money, you know, all that kind of shit. But it was like a week or so before we left. Me and my wife went out to go see a movie, and they'd already talked about it. About it's Dark Angelo.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was his wife, well, ex-wife now, but they talked about doing it, using a Ouija board, and we were like, no, like you're not doing that in our house, especially since we have a small kid and you have like a toddler. Like, nah, not doing that shit. Well, when we were gone, they ended up doing that anyways.
Again,
and
this
we
is
didn't
how
know
horror
about
movies
it.
start, but yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But we didn't know about it. And then we were already gone. Me and Dark left. We deployed, and while we were gone, the little girl that she had was like, I don't know, about 3, 4, somewhere around there. Seems to be the age for it, you know.
Yeah.
But she would sleep with my stepdaughter in her room. And after they played with that Ouija board, she like refused to go back there because apparently she started seeing someone in like the closet. And when she told them who it was, like what he looked like, she pretty much described Freddy Krueger almost, but she'd never seen any of that because she's a toddler. Like she don't know about any of that. But she described this man in a sweater with knives on his hands.
Oh my god.
Like
I hope you burn that place down.
like right? Like
Nightmare. You're the reason
before
Nightmare on Elm Street happened.
before they played with it, like she had no problem being back there alone. Like she'd go back there and play with toys. But after that happened, she refused to go back there alone.
But see, like when you said like she imagined Freddy Krueger, I was like, okay, like that's kind of, I mean, I like immediately I started poking holes and be like, yeah, whatever. But then like again, you brought up a good point, like never would have seen it. Never would have seen it. Yeah.
Like, she didn't say a name or anything. She just described, like, not saying it was. It's just she said
something
someone
similar.
in a sweater.
But if she said the name, it would have been even weirder.
That
yeah,
like Freddy is like maybe he said Frederick or Fred or some shit.
Well, like
wouldn't have said it like perfectly, but
so like
that would have been creepy. But yeah,
why would that have been creepy? Wouldn't she have just maybe? I would immediately be like, she's just making a pop culture reference, like, hey yo,
yeah,
props to you, kid.
yeah.
She's just really ahead of her time.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of off topic, but do you guys like actively search out horror movies? Like, do you like to go watch them?
No.
I mean, I've actually been trying to find something that scares me. I haven't been scared in a while. Like,
okay, buddy.
Legit scared in
But
a
like,
while.
why do you want that? Because
I
I
don't know.
personally
Adrenaline.
don't. You know?
Yeah, I think that's what people do. People do it for like the thrill of like like being on the edge of their seat and like
scared, but
I don't really
still
care.
safe.
Like I could be
Yeah.
like I could be like on the edge of my seat for like I don't know, the Pink Panther. You know what I mean? Like yeah, I don't really care. Like that's big of a difference to me.
What's he gonna do?
I
Yeah,
just,
right.
I just like to imagine
Is he gonna learn how to say hamburger? I don't know.
I like to imagine somebody goes to see a horror movie just to be like, "Don't go in there." Oh, you dumb bitch! You went in there.
Yeah,
Told her not to go in there.
that'd be me. Like I don't go and like I don't really watch horror movies. Like some people are like my favorite films are like horror movies. I'm like, I'm okay, thanks. You can keep that to yourself. I've only seen like one or two actual horror, like I would say like horror films. Actually, one because again I don't make a habit of trying to watch them. The only one I've ever seen was The Shining. And I mean, I think that's a good one to watch. It's like a classic. And so again, because I don't watch them, I had to watch it for a film studies class, and I was kind of dreading it because like I don't really like scary movies, and like this is like notoriously a really scary movie. So like I'm not super down for it. I was like, I'll watch it. I like Jack Nicholson, but so the day came to watch it, and like the week before, my friend was like, "Oh, look at that! We're watching The Shining on Halloween. Isn't that fun how things line up?" And it was like a complete accident, right? And I'm like, "Yeah, it's really great, boss." And then so the time comes to go watch this thing. I walk to the school and like I get in the thing and like I watch it, right? And I get like it wasn't actually that bad. There's like some parts where I was like, "Hey now," and then like yeah. So then I like leave the building. I'm like gotta like time to walk home, and at this point it's like 10:30 at night, so it's pitch black, and of course it's raining now. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna die. Andrew's gonna die on the walk home tonight. Like he's not making it home. Like that's it.
I'm not making it up.
It's
like
gonna be a surge party. I'm gonna put a milk carton.
It's Halloween night. I just watched The Shining for the first time. It's pitch black and it's raining. This could be a long 20-minute walk, or it's gonna be short.
Or it's gonna be very quick. It's gonna be very quick.
Either way, it's not gonna be enjoyable. But
long walk home, the last walk home.
Yeah, that's my autobiography. But that's the cap. That's the final chapter.
Headphones just fall to the chair. We're just like, have we been playing with a ghost the entire time?
Well, that'd be crazy.
That's why he brought this up. He's like, I haven't really found the way to introduce this to you guys yet.
I don't know how to say it, but I've
But
actually
I
been
died
dead
3
for
years
4 years
ago.
ago. But I don't think Shadow told his Ouija story yet, did you?
Basically, my Ouija story was it's not like it was a scary story. It was it was on Halloween night. My friend was throwing a Halloween party, and for whatever reason, I just wanted to fuck with my friends. They already had the Ouija board set up, and I had already like played the prank that I had a demon friend, you know.
You were that kid.
I was that kid. Yes, I was that kid. And I basically
You're the smug kid at the beginning who's like, I have a demon friend, and then you die. And it's fine, and everyone's kind of cool with it.
Yeah, but it was just funny. We got the Ouija board, and I would move it slightly to say the name of what I called that demon.
Yeah, so you were the bastard.
So yeah, no one believed it, by the way, but it was just fucking
shocker. Because you're the bastard rat king. Anyway, but that leads. Here's a scenario for you guys. Like, so would you ever like openly go to an area, like not like a haunted hotel, but like an area that's like notoriously haunted, like an abandoned house, or like, you know what I mean, like something like that? Would you ever do that?
Yes.
Okay, we got one.
I mean, maybe. Like it depends on who I'm like with you guys.
Yeah, like let's say us four were going ghost hunting.
Yeah, I'd do it.
All right, we got Reddick and Shadow for yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Shawn?
I'm definitely leaning more towards no. I don't like to mess with those kinds of things.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You can't really move real quick right now.
We'll just get swagger.
Scooter gets stuck in the mud.
If there's like bad spirits, y'all are just like kicking my crutch, and you're like, get him, not me.
Hey, I don't have to outrun the spirit. I just have to outrun you.
Yeah. I would break my foot. I would just keep going. I would break it more. I would just start running.
Not today, spirit.
Yeah, no. I think stuff like that, it's like, if I don't want to mess with it, I want to leave it to
be
rest.
Respected. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to mess up the natural order of things.
Yeah. See, like I've been watching too much of this show now, where I'm just like, I'm of the same mind of Shawn, where I'm just like, yeah, like I don't want to mess with that because like maybe I don't really believe in it, but like knowing my luck, like I'd yeah, okay, spirit, and then like it follows me home, and that's just my life now. It's me and the ghouls. Whereas like, but I've been watching so much of this show where now like they have a lot of fun. Like they'll just go and they're like cracking jokes and stuff. And I think it's different when you go with like friends, where you like kind of have like a bit of a fun time, and you're like there with the narrative of like he who, and like you're like trying not to be like, this is not going to end like a horror movie in which we're all like, ha, let's go record a ghost and we all die. Like it's like we'd have to do it with a camera crew. That I would feel more comfortable at that point. You know, like you got
more people.
Well, it's like they do it like 2 people, and then they got like the cameraman. So I'm just like, I think immediately once you have like the cameraman there, and I'm not talking like, oh hey, we brought one like VCR camera, like that's like grainy footage, because I think that's just asking for problems. You show up with that, like you know you're gonna die at that point.
Yeah.
Or like you show up with like high quality stuff, you know, like ghosts aren't gonna mess with a guy who's like clearly got the drip. So you know, like they're gonna respect that. So I think at that point,
I just like to imagine this old sickly ghost. You know, he died in a house long years ago. He waits for people to come in and to fuck with them and maybe kill them. Sees a guy with like a Walkmaster, a VCR camera, like from like the 2000. He goes, "That's the guy."
This guy's dead. But he sees like the guy in like the Jordan Air 7s. He's like, "Those are clean."
Like, what the fuck is that? You know what? I ain't touching that newfangled.
Oh, Shawn's frozen again. I was like, man, Shawn's really liking this joke. I just love that to start the podcast. Shawn's dad was like, "It's because of you guys that my son wants me to pay for more internet." Meanwhile, internet goes
right.
I was talking. You guys are like, "Oh, Shawn's frozen." I'm like, "No, I'm not," because I was still moving on my screen.
I heard like, and then it stopped. And
man,
we just said,
to see it.
Yeah, I think it's funny that it was all prefaced by your dad, but like, wow, the internet's fine. Look at these guys. They want to and then this.
I know. I've been saying it for weeks. All we gotta do is change one thing, and we'll be fine.
You know what's good is that like if you do decide to show your parents this one, it's a lot less scuffed. Now I don't know. I don't want to say that there's a correlation between Swagger not being here and not being scuffed. But
what are you talking about, Moose? Swagger's always with us.
Yeah, his spirit.
Yeah,
Spirit.
Swagger is my sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah.
I just imagine he's in the corner just Fortnite dancing.
He got him. He finally got to him.
He got him. He got to him.
Swagger's spirit was pissed at that one. He's like, idiot. Knocks it over. Goddamn.
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm about to piss myself.
This guy. I'm just like trying to build the ghost fighting team here. The Ghost Avengers.
Swagger with the stick.
Oh my god. Can you imagine Swagger and a ghost hunting? That would be the scariest bit. Having Swagger ghost hunting with us.
Well, we'd have to. He has to be the bait.
That's
well,
true.
I also feel like if you do shows like that, you kind of need that comedic relief.
That's
And
what I'm
while we're
saying.
all funny in our own sense, I feel like Shadow's just persona would lighten up the like mood of the show. You
Yeah.
know?
I think you're talking about. I think you said Swagger. Yeah.
Hang on, do you mean Swagger or me? Like, wait,
Sure.
who's?
Yeah. You
Sorry,
said-
I meant.
Yeah.
Luger.
We're not
Shit,
the
what did I
same
say?
person. I
You
swear.
I know.
said Shadow.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. Did I say Swagger?
You said
You said
Shadow.
me.
Oh, I meant Swagger.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. That's
Okay.
I just imagine it would be like you hear something. It's like, did you hear that? And you just Swagger's just. It's like God
Yeah.
damn it. Like,
Pants to Swagger. He's just in like,
He just-
uh-oh.
he just farts. Yeah. So I think that would be like, again, like if I mean I would never want to, because I remember like people would be like, do you want to go do this? I'm like, no. Like I remember like a couple years back, Rennick, you might remember this. Hex was like, when you guys come to Florida, we can go to like the cemetery that I know is like kind of haunted. We should spend a night there. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm okay. I'll go to Disneyland. You guys can go to the cemetery,
Sure.
right? But I feel like if we like, now this might be again like final last words here, but it's like I think if we did it as like the crew kind of like memed on it, was like, oh, come get us, ghost, like that would be kind of funny, and I would be sort of doing that.
Come get
Yeah.
us, ghost. Something
Yeah,
happens. We all
yeah.
just kind of look to each other. That wasn't
I don't
planned.
know about I don't know about the whole enticing.
Well,
it.
I love
Like-
because the dynamic of the show I really enjoy. It's like the one guy's like super respectful. He's just like, whoa, up, hey, easy now, Shane. Because Shane's always like, come get me, ghost. I don't believe in you. Push me down the stairs and then I'll believe in you. Come on, I'm right here, right? And so like I think that's kind of funny. I get what you're saying though. To like, you know what I mean? So, but like I just think it'd be like fun to be like, ooh, what was that, Swagger? Because like the whole point of like the show is to be like, are ghosts real, right? Not like
Yeah.
we're going to see ghosts today. It's like we're here to document ghosts, right? I think it'd be
I didn't
fun.
say this one earlier, but kind of in defense of ghosts, like they're not all bad.
Yeah.
Like my family has had a lot of experiences where like we'll be talking about like my grandpa who passed, and then like a hat that's sitting on like just like a desk will just fall off. Or like stuff like that, where we'll be talking, and then the TV will turn on to like the Diamondbacks game. Which
All right,
is
now
listening.
hang on. So Sean's been sitting on all this ghost stories, and he's like, I didn't
They're
want to share them
not
because they're
mine,
not
that's the
sinister.
They're not mine, but like in defense of ghosts, like it's kind of a cool thing because like my family really does feel like they're still there and like watching over.
Dude,
you
I'd
know,
be
because
freaking
of
out.
Mhm.
stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
I don't care if
Yeah,
I'd be like,
I-
oh, that's Uncle Rod knocking his hat
No,
off. I'd be like,
See,
we're all about to
I've
die.
never been there for stuff like that, but that's how my family describes it. They're like, "Oh, my dad's here." And I'm like,
Okay, so not to lie,
up
I
a
thought you were gonna
chair.
go somewhere different with that. With like, in defense of ghosts, you know, we kind of just moved into their spot. They're kind of territorial, so I understand why they kill us. Like, I thought you were gonna be like, in defense of ghosts, we kind of are
Yeah.
bastards.
I just like
well,
the
also that.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I like the idea that like your family, like again, something will happen. Like glasses will be thrown against the wall and be like, ah, there's Kevin again, throwing a fit. Come on, man. Like, we've got people over
sorry.
today.
I'm sorry, if a ghost is just named Kevin, I'm 100% not gonna be afraid of it.
Kevin. Kevin walks these halls. Like they start laughing. So like situation, we're in like haunted. We're doing this like perspective ghost hunting show where we're like hunting ghosts. We're the first ones to ever do something like this. I know, but we're hunting ghosts, and it's just like something happens, like a door slams closed, or like you know you hear like feet shuffling. Are you just like, damn, What is that?
Sean's camera was fucking up on the
He's coming in and out.
We're trying to
Just
read.
one.
We're trying to read you, Shawn.
Are you serious? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
we got.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure he didn't miss any of this.
We're here.
So
we're
You're on
here.
my side.
We're seeing you from the other side.
How's the weather there?
I think it's probably in your mind. Like, what's going on?
Okay, so are we doing like serious shadow, or do you want like joke shadow in the moment?
Joke shadow in the moment, but also like you reflecting on it now.
Okay, joke shadow in the moment. I would go up to the door and be like, "Hey, open up!
Stop this.
Come on,
Yeah.
I got people out here. They're waiting."
Flies back open.
See, I'm kind of a wuss. I think you guys can already like figure that one out from what I said about this.
The
I'm
door
gonna
shuts
wuss.
already outside.
the door.
Yeah, I would be like, nope, and just run. I would just leave.
Gone.
Like
Just
I
slam.
would
Where'd
join
Sean
you
go?
guys for the beginning, but as soon as something actually happens, I am out the door. I am
Really?
leaving.
You're the guy in Phasmophobia who, like, one thing happens, he's already back outside
That's
in the van
me.
watching the
See,
cameras.
I'd like to say that I'd be like a little bit less of that, but I feel like in the moment I'd be like, Sean's got the right idea. Let's go, Shawn. we'll monitor the equipment from outside.
So okay, so the purpose of the team, we have it's us 4 plus Swagger.
Yeah.
What is everybody's roles?
Give us some roles to like.
Like okay, like somebody who stays behind, monitors cameras and stuff. Comedic relief.
For more than one reason, Sean's our man in the chair.
Like,
I also
obviously-
feel like I would be more of a detriment in the field because I'm like holding everyone back from actually exploring something.
Guys, no. Shawn, it's the bathroom at the rest stop at the gas station. I don't know. I've got a bad feeling, man.
Sean, we're not even at the house yet. I just have a bad feeling.
But like,
Sean.
I just imagine like we're just like, did you hear that? And like a ghost is trying to talk, and Sean's like, you just hear like teeth clattering. Yeah, just that.
Actually, that
Stop
comes
it.
clear enough. I'm sorry. I can't wait for the podcast to come out so I can hear that.
Click, 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 click.
That was good.
So I think of the comedic relief. I think probably Swagger would be the comedic relief. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what Swagger's like. Maybe Swagger would be the comedic relief until like we talk to him about this, and he's just like, no, man, like I'd be out of there, like Shawn, right?
Yeah.
So I would say either Swagger or me as the comedic relief of just like, ghosts, am I right? Or like,
I think Swagger is comedic until the ghost comes out,
That's
and
what I'm
then he's
thinking.
running.
then he's hauling
But
ass.
then Shadow is fine, and then comedic once the ghost is there.
Yeah.
Sees the
It's like-
ghost. You're not that scary. Ooh. Ooh, you too.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Get out of here. Like dusts it away.
He goes,
Picks up a
"Ooh."
vacuum, just sucks it up.
Luigi's Mansion sound, motherfucker.
Man. All right. So, what do you guys think Redneck would be in like a ghost hunting role? I think he would be like the one who's like again like the one like the level-headed one. Of
So
like,
I would hope he's the level-headed one. Otherwise,
we're in trouble.
We've got
Imagine.
3 people trying to make mischief, and then
One's
Redneck's
hauling
also trying
ass.
to
Yeah. Okay, so Redneck, what would you do in that situation of like? Oh, actually, Shadow, what would you do if like against the series you like you're trying to rationalize what just happened?
I'd be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
I think
You
that's
know?
like that's
Like,
kind of
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
That's-
that'd probably be everyone's general
Yeah,
reaction
just like-
at first.
What was that?
I would
What
grab
the fuck
vacuum
was
for
that?
safety.
Just like
But I'm checking it out.
Yeah?
I'll go find what it was.
I would be like okay, go.
Yeah, I got you. Try it. I got the light.
Yeah, stay in frame.
Light.
I think ghost hunting with this group would be a lot of fun. I think there would be shenanigans about. I mean, who wouldn't watch us?
Come to
ghost hunting?
Arizona.
I mean,
That
honestly,
would be a
Come to
big
Arizona.
one.
There's literally so many places. There's probably like 20 places in the state that we could travel around to.
now I don't want to commit to say if we go to Arizona, we're gonna go ghost hunting.
That's what we're
Yeah.
doing.
I'm gonna say it's on the table.
Fair.
That's all I'm gonna say. But like,
Keep that on the back burner.
yeah, have you
There's
seen
really not too much to do in Arizona.
other than ghost
so,
hunting?
like,
Apparently,
It's
Other
like
than melt
like-
and ghost hunting.
yeah.
go hike, but it has to be at like 5 a.m. or else it's too hot. And then it's like go to get coffee.
At
And
that
that's all
point,
you
you're
can
close
really
enough
do.
to the witching hour. You might as well just go
Right.
somewhere.
Seriously.
I actually live just across the street out here, in the fucking sticks. I live next to, it is the oldest cemetery in the county. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
like all grown over and shit.
I
Like,
draw the
yeah.
line there.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, there's also 2 cemeteries just on my campus at school.
I have a funny story about a cemetery that so as a kid
Don't
when
knock it down.
I used to not live in like the town that I live in now. I used to live in like a ghetto town, pretty much. But when I was a kid, we would always drive like the same way to go visit my aunt and uncle and stuff like that, or just go do something. We would pass by it constantly. There's a cemetery on the right and there's a gun range on the left. All right. Now, of course, kid me didn't really think much of it. Just, oh, gun range, cemetery. My cousin pointed this out to me. I was like, isn't it just kind of like
Kind of a
funny how there's
reason.
like a
Yeah.
cemetery right in front of the gun range?
Yeah, I just thought of that.
Oh
There's a lot of turnover here. I don't know. One place is filling up and one's rapidly
Declining.
Yeah.
I just thought that was like the funniest shit in the world when he pointed that out to me.
I guess that kind of leads me into like a sort of a spooky story because like we've already kind of told some ghost stories. If anyone else has any more ghost stories that they want to tell, either they experienced or like someone that they know experienced, feel free to share.
I once saw a ghost suck a dick, but it could have just been a really pasty dude.
I think Swagger has been reincarnated. Like his spirit is in shadow right now.
we replaced Swagger pretty hard.
I just love
so unexpected.
I
Oh,
just
still here in spirit.
I love Redneck's just so disappointed.
It was so out of left field. Man, you've been hanging out with Swagger too much, man. We gotta get
That's
you out
the
of there.
thing, I haven't hung out with Swagger the past few days.
Dude, that's why you're missing him. You're making up for it.
Having withdrawals.
But so, if anyone has any ghost stories not involved, Shadow, not involved in this, wanna share?
And server mute.
So, this is kind of a crazy story. I remember like one time I was hanging out at my buddy's house, and we were all just kind of sitting there, and like we were like of the variety of like kind of telling like creepy stories that like or like just like kind of not telling creepy stories because we were pretty young. We were like probably like 11 or 12, but we were just like talking about ghosts, kind of like what we're doing right now. We're like talking about ghosts, and like wouldn't it be weird or whatever, right? And so like I remember like my friend's mom came in, and she was the nicest lady I've ever met, like the nicest lady, and so she was just like. I remember one time so the house that I used to live in, she said, there was a couple that lived next to me, and they were very nice, and I always like waved to the wife and stuff every day, like I came home from school, and she was a kid, and basically what had happened is like, make a long story short, in this, the wife was killed. I don't remember exactly if the husband killed her. I think it was the husband. I think the husband killed her, like shot her dead or like killed her, whatever. And so like my friend's mom remembers coming home from school and like seeing like the police out there, and they were like investigating and stuff, and she said that was weird enough as it was as a kid, but the strangest thing about it was that like for the next 6 months the chalk outline of her body stayed on the driveway, like for 6 months, like rain, everything, it didn't fade.
Yeah, I don't like that. No.
Nah, dude.
Like that is
Crazy.
that would freak me out so hard.
Super fucking chalk, apparently.
Like that's like that would freak me out a lot. That like the chalk outline of a dead body is still like there months after.
But think of this. Out of all the things to haunt, out of all the things to keep on the earthly realm, why the fuck is it the chalk outline of your dead body? Like, yeah, the chalk outline of all things.
Maybe
the cop drew. Like the cop had to drew it, But
I think like Shawn says, it's more. I would think it's more of like a haunting reminder of like, you know what I mean, of like this thing that happened to them.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Either that or there's something else there.
I just kind of laugh at it, like out of all the things that kept the ghost to the realm, it was the chalk outline.
Yeah.
These fuckers ruined my driveway.
This is kind of like a really stupid thing, and I can't believe I'm like saying it on this podcast. But like sometimes when things like really freak me out, or like I get grossed out and stuff like that when people are telling stories, I get this like chill in my butt. So I call 'em my butt chills. It's like I don't even know how to describe it, but like it's just like sometimes when I hear shit, I'm like, ooh, but like it only hits my butt.
Oh, I feel the quiver. Oh no.
That one got me. That one got me.
I just like imagine like we're doing this ghost hunting thing and we're like, what was that? We're like, Shawn, check your ass. And he's like
vibrant.
Shawn, how's your ass?
It's bad. It's bad.
It's bad. We gotta go, guys. It's getting bad.
Like the two ends.
My butt's just like shaking. I'm like, we gotta go.
The cheeks are clapping. I just
we don't bring a ghost radar. We just put Shawn up front. Shawn, how's your ass? It's fine. Crash.
Oh shit.
Sometimes so like people will say shit and I'm like, ooh, I don't like it,
Yeah.
and then I just feel it in my butt.
I just love the two ends of the spectrum for our ghost hunting team. We got Shawn's like butt chills and Swagger's butt that's a little too warm for everyone's liking. You know what I mean? Like we're hitting both ends.
Shit.
All right, guys. So we're nearing the end of the podcast here. So I just have a quick question for all you guys in the audience here. Who are watching this, let us know in the comment section what you guys think, either in the comment section or in the Discord, what you guys think of these style episodes of podcasts. I already know Tahap will be like, this is a pretty spookable episode, and shout out to you, homie. We love you.
Yeah.
But so we're
Easy gang.
Oh yeah, we're curious to see what people think about these style, because we had a lot of fun. We just finished talking about like how much fun we had doing it, and how we want to do more of these in the future. So if you are interested in these and you do enjoy them, let us know so we know like the frequency in which to make them. And if you have any topics of conversation that you want us to cover, whether it wants to like you want to talk about like paranormal stuff like this, because I had a lot of fun talking about the paranormal. It's a very like fascinating subject for me, and I gather from the rest of us that we're all very similar in that realm. So if you have anything that you want us to cover, paranormal or otherwise, or any of these general topics that you want us to cover in these episodes that are not interview style, please let us know in the Discord or in the comment section, and I will write them down in the list, and we will get to them whenever we can. And then, as I mentioned earlier, guys, we will be getting back to the interview styles whenever we get a chance. Hopefully next week we can set up something when everyone's schedule lines up perfectly. But yeah, again, we hope you really enjoyed this episode of the podcast. It was a lot of fun. What'd you guys think?
A lot of fun.
I like it. It was a good one. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
You love to see.
Many laughs, much fun.
Yeah. I thought it was
Such
good.
Fun. Wow.
The link to Shawn's channel will be down below, as well as everyone else's, as always. And yeah, shout out Shawn. Thanks so much for coming on, man. We appreciate you. And yeah, man.
Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, man. We're hoping to get you in on a lot more, because this is a lot of fun, and we'll move forward. Maybe we'll start a ghost hunting team. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Episode 1 of the ghost hunting team.
Now Shawn's like, I've been roped into something here that I don't
Content house, but all we do is ghost hunt.
Ooh.
We hunt the same
Ooh,
ghost
there
every
you go.
week. We don't know how it keeps escaping.
Yeah. It's like an ongoing
Damn
thing.
it, Bartholomew! This is the third time this goddamn day that you have made it to outside the house.
I just like the idea that we buy a house or an apartment in a suburb, but we're chasing like Bartholomew, like a 16th century knight, whatever he's doing here in like, I don't know, Kansas or something, I don't know, or Arizona, I guess. So whatever. Anyway, we hope you did enjoy this episode of the podcast. If you did, make sure to leave a like, or if you're on Spotify, keep watching. I guess there's no way really to rate the podcast on Spotify. If you're living on iTunes or something, if there's a way to rate it or like it, go ahead and do that. We would appreciate it. Otherwise, like I said, keep listening, keep watching. New episodes come out every Wednesday when we can. We'd like to try and keep a good upload schedule. But anyway, guys, this is Shawn Romo and the Shower Brew Cast signing off. Take it easy, everyone. Peace.
Later.